Okay, well, thank you very much. Happy Chinese New Year to each and every one of us, mga kaibigan natin, mga Chinese friends natin, especially those are celebrating itong Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year or welcoming or ushering of the Chinese New Year 2026 po. Nagsadyo na at the stroke of 12 kahapon o kagabi po, and busy-busy ang mga kapatid natin nga Chinese who are celebrating itong Chinese New Year. In other words, this is the year of the fire horse po. What is the meaning of fire horse? Ibig sabihin po, may mga malaking challenges po. Challenges and changes that we are going to experience this year po, 2026. And hope that this year will be a prosperous year for each and every one of us, especially ang Chinese community natin po. Be it in Malaysia, dyan po sa Sabah, sa Sarawak, or sa China, sa Macau, sa Hong Kong, Taiwan, or any other Chinese communities po, even dyan po sa Pilipinas. And of course, nakita natin po, and I'm very sure po, na maingay din today ang Binondo, dyan po sa Manila, sa Chinatown, no? And because if you want to see how the Chinese, Filipino-Chinese celebrate, sabihin natin, ang New Year, no? You go to Binondo, you go to Chinatown, dyan po sa Manila, and you will really see po, no? Ang spirit of Chinese New Year sa, sabihin natin, sa Pilipinas po. In fact, nakita ko rin sa Facebook, I saw a lot of posting in social media wherein I saw Filipinos, Chinese Filipinos celebrating or welcoming the year of the fire horse po. A very good example is nakita ko po yon even in Zamboanga City, the mayor, Mayor Kimer Olaso, in front of City Hall po. Nakita natin na mayroon silang lion dance performance, no? Lion dance performance. So maganda 'yon po, no? Maganda 'yon because of whether we like it or not po, no? Chinese, they're very influential when we talk about the economy, financial status, how to program ang natin financial standard natin po, no? So magaling talaga siya dyan po sa negosyo. That's why we also respect ang mga kapatid natin who are Chinese po, Chinese Filipinos, and of course lahat na po Chinese. In fact, the Philippine government is encouraging, especially ang tourism secretary natin po is encouraging, and also the president himself, no? Encouraging the Chinese people to come back to the Philippines. If you want to do some or spend holidays po, spend it in the Philippines dahil maganda po ang mga tourist attractions dyan po sa Pilipinas. Maricel Sobrito, I would like to greet Kong Si Fa Chai and Happy New Year, Chinese New Year to you and to your family, to your relatives, to everybody. No? Kung nasaan man si Maricel, be it siguro nandito sa Malaysia, or maybe you are in other parts in this world, no? Or maybe you are in the Philippines, Kong Si Fa Chai po. No? Kong Si Fa Chai. And of course, to each and everyone. Welcome na welcome kayo po dito sa programa natin, dito Talk with Nico. Today is February 17, Chinese New Year, and I have some important news that I'm going to share with you po. Okay? Start na tayo. Start na tayo po ang sharing of news to ang mga followers natin dito sa TikTok, Talk with Nico. You can find me dyan po sa YouTube. You can find me in Facebook. And of course, you can find me also in TikTok. Don't forget to share, like, and follow itong programa natin po so that you will be properly informed, or you will be informed of the latest updates of what is happening in the Philippines. Okay, to start with po, let me share with you, ang title natin, we are focusing on Senator Rodante Marcoleta, fearless, matapang, may sense when ito, no? And ngayon, he's hitting the headlines dyan po sa Pilipinas for the past few days na po, no? Be it he challenged for a debate kay former Supreme Associate Justice si Antonio Carpio. And of course, ang latest controversy is not controversy po, no? Ang latest hot issue of Senator Rodante Marcoleta is pertaining about Senator Ping Lacson, the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee dyan po sa Senado. Let me share with you po itong video clip na about ang latest issues about involved si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Please watch and listen to this video clip that I have prepared for all of you po.
May bantaraw na ethics complaint laban kay Senate President Pro Tempore Ping Lacson. Yan ay dahil sa isang umanong spliced video ng isang hearing ng Commission on Appointments. Sa isang TV show, una lang inihayag ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta ang kanyang saloobin pagdating sa video umano ng kampo ni Lacson. Laman ito ang pag-iig ni Lacson na agin ang Kalayaan Island Group matapos umanong sabihin ni Marcoleta na way beyond our exclusive economic zone ito. Yan ay habang kaharap ni Marcoleta ang isang senior officer sa hanay ng Philippine Navy sa pagdinig. Para kay Marcoleta, hindi raw sinunod ng video ang sequence ng exchange nila ng officer at tila naging misleading daw ito. Umani nagsamod-sari reaksyon ang naging pahayag ni Marcoleta at karamihan ay pinaalala sa kanyang may karapatan ng Pilipinas sa West Philippine Sea. Para kay Marcoleta, ethics committee raw ang bagsak ng kapwa niya mambabatas dahil ibang-iba raw ang naratibo sa tunay na nangyari sa CA hearing. Banat ng senador, may draft ethics complaint na raw siyang inaayos at anya, hindi raw ito maaaring palampasin. Nakarating agad ito kay Lacson. Pero tanong niya sa isang post sa X, paano ba mag-splice ng video? Niwala raw siyang ideya tungkol dito at kailangang may magturo sa kanya kung paano ito gawin. Sa isang separate text message naman sa PNC, sinabi ni Lacson na wala siyang ideya kung anong video ang tinutukoy ni Marcoleta at zero nga ang kaalaman niya sa pag-splice ng isang video. Kasabay niyan ang banta ni Marcoleta na kasuhan si dating Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio for treason. Kaugnayan ang desisyon ni Carpio bilang ponente sa Magalona versus Ermita case noong 2011 kung saan ayon kay Marcoleta ay epektibong nalimitahan ang saklaw ng ating bansa sa ating karagatan. Sagot ni Carpio, treason cannot be committed during peacetime. Una nang hinamon ni Marcoleta si Carpio sa isang debate tungkol sa sigalot sa laot na siya namang tinanggap ng dating mahistrado. Para sa agenda, Hannah Kia, Billionaire News Channel.
Alright, yan po, narinig natin ang first video clip natin. Sabi ni Marcoleta that he's preparing for filing ethics complaint dyan po sa Committee ng Ethics dyan po sa Senado against Senator Ping Lacson dahil itong statement made by Senator Ping Lacson po. And sabi ni Senator Ping Lacson, he don't know how to slice ang video, no? And that is very impossible po, no? You as a senator and a very experienced or seasoned senator, you have all your staff, no? Matalinong staff po, and you claim that you don't know how to slice a video. It's very easy po, no? You can ask your staff to do that. Maybe you don't know, but there is always a means, ways and means on how to do this kind of things. No? Very simple one ito po. You can easily ask your staff po. So for me, your reasoning that hindi ka marunong, no, is a very narrow, very low reason. Reason po, giving that reason po to Senator Rodante Marcoleta or to the general public po who is watching and listening to all the statements that they have been giving po. Ito ang problema sa atin sa mga politicians po, no? They thought that everything that they say po, we are going to take it. We are going to take it po. Sometimes nakita natin po wala nang rason ba po, no? They make general statements and they thought mga Filipinos po, no? We will take everything what they say. Parang Diyos na sila po. No. Filipinos are smart people, wise people po, intelligent. Before, if you politicians can play around with the Filipinos po, but I don't think so this time around po, hindi na pwede. Don't play with the Filipinos now po, because Filipinos are smarter nowadays po compared before, no? Before, dahil we are always saying we are peace-loving, we are caring, forgive and forget. But after what happened po, all the cheating and sufferings that we face, na matalino na po ngayon. Hindi na kagaya noon ng mga Filipinos. So that's it. And yun na po. That's the issue of Marcoleta and Ping Lacson. And of course, the issue of sabihin natin si ex-Supreme Court Associate Justice si Antonio Carpio and Marcoleta po, no? About earlier, si Senator Marcoleta said he will file a case, no? Treason against attorney or Supreme Court Associate Justice Carpio. But just recently, today ba yun, or yesterday, si Marcoleta, Senator Marcoleta said no need na because he can pronounce Carpio as guilty po based on his statements and what he had done before. And ano yan po? I will be sharing with you some of the one or two video clips po regarding itong issue nila sa Kalayaan and sa West Philippine Sea po. This is that triggered ang conflict between Carpio and Marcoleta, Senate, and itong sabihin natin ang Chinese government or Chinese officials. But anyway, nandito po. Let's watch and listen to the video clip of Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Marcoleta po. Sandali po. Let's watch and listen to this. And let's get the queuing po. Nasaan ba yung ano bang number niya? Number. Tingnan natin po. I'm trying to get the number first. Ang queue number natin si Marcoleta. Marcoleta po. Let's watch and listen to this po.
So kayo pong mamamayan, kayo pong magkababayan natin sa Kalayaan Island Group, tinuulit ko po, wala po akong sinabi na gusto ko kayong ihiwalay sa teritoryo natin. Sino naghiwalay? Sila pong naunang iniwalay. 2012 po iniwalay na po kayo eh. Hindi lang po nila sinasabi sa inyo. Maski si Commodore Tariana, napunta ng Puntaryan, hindi po niya sinasabi sa inyo. Inuutulan niya kayo. Bakit? 2012, alam niya na ang mapa na yan eh. Ayan po. Sino bang gumawa niyan? Ako ba? Hindi po. Tapos iimbitahin niya ako. Gusto kong pumunta sa tamang pagkakataon. Bakit hindi? So kayo pong mamamayan, kayo pong magkababayan natin sa Kalayaan Island Group, tinuulit ko po, wala po akong sinabi na gusto ko kayong ihiwalay sa teritoryo natin. Sino naghiwalay? Sila pong naunang iniwalay. 2012 po iniwalay na po kayo eh. Hindi lang po nila sinasabi sa inyo. Maski si Commodore Tariana, napunta ng Puntaryan, hindi po niya sinasabi sa inyo. Inuutulan niya kayo. Bakit? 2012, alam niya na ang mapa na yan eh. Ayan.
Alright, yun po. Lumabas din ang katotohanan. And this po, ano naman ang reaction na coming from Carpio, former Associate Justice Carpio po. Let's see, siguro bukas we will be able to hear a word or two from him. And Marcoleta, talking about ex-Associate Justice Carpio, ang sabi niya po that he will be filing a case against Carpio. Treason ito po. Let's watch and listen. This video clip po which I prepared para sa inyong lahat. Let's watch and listen to this po, ha? Hold on. Alright, nandito po.
Siyempre, yung gobyerno nagkamali siguro. Bakit ganun? Pero napilitan na rin ako eh. Paano? Sa akin ipinupukul ang pagkakamali na sila ang gumawa. Pagkatas pagtatakpan nila yung kanilang pagkakamali. Pagka magalala, Justice Carpio, meron ka pang isang araw tatalakayin namin kung paano mo ipinamigay ang halos 242,000 square nautical miles ng ating territorial sea.
Ay, napakalaking bahagi ng Pilipinas to, Sen.
Yan ay yung pinaka-ebidensya ng treason. Alam mo kung bakit yan? Doon sa kanyang ginawang pagdidesisyon, inakala niya, sige ka niya,
Kahit desisyon na po niya ito, ha?
desisyon niya ito. Ito, maalala niya, sasabihin ko sa kanya, Magalyona
Magaling na.
versus Ermita.
Okay.
Kumayag siya sa argumento ng gobyerno na paliitin na lang natin ang territorial sea sapagkat makakakuha na tayo ng ganansya sa ating exclusive economic zone. Lumaki nga sa palagay niya ang exclusive economic zone, ipinamigay niya yung 242,000 square nautical miles. Territorial sea yun, Jen. Ibig sabihin, parte ng ating territory.
Yes, so,
Yung maritime rights, limited lang yun. Economic rights lang yun. I charge him treason for this. Kailangan malaman mo na, Justice Carpio, kung nakikinig ka. Siyempre, yung gobyerno nagkamali siguro. Bakit?
Alright, klaro-klaro po. And as what I said, tingnan natin po ano naman ang reply o reaction coming from Justice Carpio siguro bukas po. No? He has to explain. Or if he wants to deny it po. No? Publicly. Publicly po. This is what we want to know. Ang mga Filipinos dito sa Malaysia po, we want to know. Totoo ba ang sinasabi ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta? Or hindi? Let's see po. But the way we look at it po, this Senator Rodante Marcoleta, when it comes to issues po, he will never open his mouth po without carefully studying the issue. At may resibo talaga siya po, no? May resibo talaga siya. And this one fellow, fearless, matapang po. My sense whenever he opens his mouth. And ang dami mga Filipinos who throw support kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta. You just remember po, he is a neophyte senator. Neophyte senator po and down to earth po, no? To protect the welfare and interests of the august body, ang Senado po, and of course, ang Pilipinas, and ang lahat ang mga Filipinos po. That's why he won in the election po, 2025 senatorial election. So magandang performance ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta, and I hope they will continue po, no? Although may mga bashers, because Rodante Marcoleta or any one of us po, we cannot please everybody. Mayroon talaga yan po, when we say something, not everybody will agree. Mayroon yan po, there will be one or two or, who will oppose to what we are saying. But it's normal. Normal lang yan po. Now, here is another video clip that I want to share with you. And of course, another very talkative, aggressive, and who talks sense also po when it comes to graft and corruption, when it comes to wrongdoings, mga mistakes ng gobyerno po, no? Ng gobyerno. And I am referring to no other than, kilalang-kilala ninyo itong tao po, si Madam Buanzon, Buanzon po. Nandito po, let's watch and listen to her regarding itong West Philippine Sea and quarrel between Marcoleta. He disagree with the resolution passed by the Senate condemning ang Chinese embassy officials, and then may reply naman ang Chinese embassy. So it is continuing po ang war of words between the Senate and the Chinese embassy officials. So let's watch and listen to Madam Godson on how he looks at this situation. Let's watch and listen to this.
Worry na po ako na pag hindi po natapos ng may magandang resulta itong pabalik-balik na exchange ng mga sagutan sa ating mga senador at ng embassy ng China. Nag-worry ako na baka maka-affect ito sa trabaho ng around 200,000 na Filipino overseas workers sa Hong Kong. Nagpunta po ako doon at kamitin ko po yung mga grupo doon, kanya-kanyang grupo ng sari-saring probinsya, sila nang gagaling. Ang dami po talaga nating Pilipino doon na isang bumubuhay sa kanilang mga pamilya dito sa Pilipinas. Pag-aaral ng mga bata, ng mga pamangkin, gamot ng mga magulang, pang-araw-araw na pagkain at pangangailangan ng kanilang mga anak. Baka naman po mangyari na ihinto ang kanilang pagtatrabaho doon sa Hong Kong, ihinto ng China. Kaya sana po ay may diplomatic na solusyon na ito. Siguro naman nag-intervene na ang Department of Foreign Affairs. At yung si Cariela ng Coast Guard ay tumahimik na muna. Pag-shut up na muna kasi hindi na nakakatulong eh. Isipin na lang po natin ang 200,000 na Pilipinos na nagtatrabaho sa Hong Kong at ang mga pamilyang umaasa sa kanila dito. Isipin mo muna natin ang ating mga kababayan bago po lumala ito, sana ay magkasolusyon na agad. At looks like itong problem na ito ay kailangan na po ma-intervene ng Department of Foreign Affairs. Hindi naman natin mahinto yung mga senador natin, yung resolution sila. Yung feeling naman nila na kabyado tayo or kabyado ang Pilipinas. Baka kung nakalimutan lang nila, baka po madamay dito yung 200,000 na Filipino overseas workers sa Hong Kong.
Alright, dahil yan po, narinig natin na totoo naman po, no? What you're saying, no? That is my fear. Ako din po, I fear na if this will happen, no? Hindi ito maghinto na po itong exchange of words between ang Senado natin, mga senador natin, saka ang China Embassy, but it will aggravate and ang mga Filipinos will suffer. In fact, nandyan na nga eh. Nandyan na nga ang China is saying, you have to face the consequences. Ang problema lang dyan po, once mag-decide ang China, sabi nila po, if they are not going to accept ang mga overseas Filipino workers po, kaya pa ang Senado to give job to these overseas Filipino workers. We have sa Hong Kong, we have around 200,000. Macau and mainland China, and dami, roughly around almost 500,000 overseas Filipino workers in China. Now, if China will refuse or will not renew the work permits of these Filipinos, overseas Filipino passport, they have to go back to the Philippines, and the Philippine government, are they ready to accept these Filipinos? give them job so that they will survive. And the family will continue to lead a better life. Ngayon nga, we don't have a better life. Itong mga loved ones that we left behind in the Philippines po. And that is for this reason, overseas Filipino workers, they went out and worked. Because they cannot, if they stay only in the Philippines, they won't be able to give a better life to their loved ones. So, kunting sakripisyo. Yan po. No? Now, when we talk about the issue of the West Philippine Sea, let's hear another opposition congressman po. No? And I'm referring to no other than congressman who's now suspended po. No? Si Congressman Kiko Barzaga. He has something to do or to say about this issue. And let's listen to him po. No? Anong ang opinion niya po regarding itong West Philippine Sea issue. Let's watch and listen to this video clip.
West Philippine Sea. My fellow citizens, the Chinese diplomatic protest has been handled properly. A large crisis has emerged in our bilateral relations with China. Brutal conflicts involving the Philippine Coast Guard, the Senate of the Philippines, the Department of Foreign Affairs, and the Chinese Embassy, severely damaging future prospects in trade and cooperation. While it is necessary to maintain our state's legitimate claim of the West Philippine Sea, the practical aspects of realizing that claim is where we will inevitably fail. China has a massive advantage in their economy and military compared to ours, eliminating the possibility of any form of warfare, conventional or economic, and placing us in a situation where we must negotiate and de-escalate until we can modernize our military and economy, which will take multiple decades. This diplomatic issue will only negatively impact the Filipino people, and our government must instead prioritize more urgent matters, such as disaster preparedness, unaffordable healthcare, and the inadequacies for public education. There's much more to gain from cooperation with China, from economic support, infrastructure projects, and their example of applying the death penalty for corrupt officials, a law that we desperately need in our country now. That will be all. God bless the Philippines.
O yan na po, narinig natin ang reaksyon, opinion ni Congressman Kiko Barzaga, also known as Congressman Miao Miao. Young, neophyte, and is not afraid, fearless po when it comes to exposing the wrongdoings of the government, especially the issue of the flood control projects. And he is one of the young neophyte congressman ngayon po dyan sa House of Representatives who's very vocal po. And because he opened his mouth, some congressmen are affected, and this is what you get. This is what you get. He is suspended po. Same thing po with very young and neophyte congressman, si Leandro Leviste po, no? Facing mga threat of legal cases po against him because, as what people notice, is very aggressive, vocal on the malpractices of government officials and politicians ngayon po sa Pilipinas. Now, let me share with you another video clip wherein the local media in Manila po interviewed ito si Senator or Congressman Kiko Barzaga, and they touch in many issues. And I think it's about time that matagal na we did not hear about him. So let's see, watch, and listen ang mga reply niya po sa mga question thrown to him by the local media dyan po sa Maynila during an exclusive during a press conference ba yun po, no? Or during an interview. Let's watch and listen to this po. Hold on, sana yun po. Nasaan na yan? Hold on for a while. Saan na yan? Kung minsan sandali lang po. Okay, ito na ba? Ito na ba? 16:06. Give me a minute, ha? Give me a minute. I think this is the one na po. Hold on. Ito po.
Ultimately regret it, then I would not have stated it in the first place. Every and all congressman must be investigated for their involvement, since it does not only implicate one congressman but rather the House as a whole. So therefore, the flood control applies to every congressman that was present during the time the budget was made.
So you don't regret it, no? No regrets.
Ano, I wouldn't have done it if I would have regretted it either way.
Well,
Ano yung sama ng loob at ang impact review sa 60 days na suspension?
Sa sama ng loob, it's mixed because, well, ultimately, this is still pushing the issue away from the flood control, which is what we should prioritize first, and also the rampant corruption that we see within the government right now. And no matter how you change the way the budget is being allocated, if a percentage of the budget is still being stolen, then we cannot expect our economy or our nation to prosper.
okay.
Okay.
Gusto niyo sana magsalita sa plenary. Ano po sana yung sasabihin?
I would have stated, would you like me to make my speech now? Kasi na, or, medyo babayad kasi, ano,
Ano ka lang po? Just na lang.
diba, ano, kasi 3 minutes lang naman yung maximum na binibigay sa mga gusto mag-explain on their votes, and there was only around 6 or 7 people who explained their vote. I would have stated that the vote, that's what I was saying now, it's a waste of taxpayer money. There are plenty of things that Congress should prioritize, and plenty of bills that should be prioritized instead of these committee reports that ultimately serve no purpose. Firstly, the VAT abolition bill that I've proposed and that I've also filed, we need to remove the value-added tax system. It's a hindrance to the Filipino people, and it's basically just every time na may transaction ka, makakita mo kung paano ka nanakawan ng gobyerno. That's mostly, that's a very big injustice that we can see in our day-to-day lives. And also all the other bills that I have filed, like the traffic transparency law, traffic transparency bill, which will mandate all representatives from the lower house to disclose whenever they have any foreign travel, so that we do not repeat the situation with Congressman Saldico, former Congressman Saldico.
Next 60 days kasi effective suspension.
I'll play with my cats and dogs.
Nalaylo mo pa kayo sa social media.
Siguro maglaylo muna.
Yung speech kanina ni Kong Janet Garino, parang naaawa daw siya sa iyo. Ano masabi mo doon na parang she's saying na naaawa daw siya sa iyo as a
I mean, it's very dramatic. Actually, mas mabuti kung maawa siya doon sa mga naapektuhan ng Big Bang siya, because that's actually the mothers there face far more than whatever I'm facing now. Because losing 2 months in Congress, or even losing my position, facing suspension or expulsion, these are very small compared to the problems that the average Filipino citizen face. And me, I can afford to lose my job here in Congress, but the average Filipino citizen, especially now when we're facing severe economic instability with plenty of issues regarding foreign investments, and also with our current diplomatic issue involving China and their possible problems involving our trade with China, if this diplomatic issue should escalate, it's going to be very hard for the average Filipino citizen. And I think that we should be more focused on putting our emotions should be more focused for them rather than people in Congress, because everyone here in Congress, we already have well-built lives. We can survive it. We can survive any of these types of issues, but the average Filipino citizen, those are the ones who are worthy of our pity. Yes.
Meron po daw ilang beses na hindi kayo umattend sa House Ethics Committee. What were you doing like monitoring the documents and that one? And then it was then that they can respond to them more.
Ultimately, it would have been the same result whether or not I attended in the House Ethics Committee. It's a very, I wouldn't say biased, but it's very one-sided there. So it's not similar to a court where firstly the media would be allowed to see how the process is being made, but rather it's forbidden for media entry, and secondly, they do not follow the same court process as we can see that the chairman himself, Chairman Avalos of the Ethics Committee, is not a lawyer or not. There are very few similarities. There are very yung tamang wording ito. I cannot expect a proper hearing. Tama yun, proper hearing or an unbiased or an impartial hearing.
Alright, yun po, narinig natin ang reaction statement na made by Congressman Coco Berzaga. And he repeatedly again, he repeated that okay lang daw sa kanya po if he will lose his job, his post as congressman. Mas importante yan po, sabi niya po, is yun ang welfare and interest of the Filipinos, ang bayan natin, ang ekonomiya natin po. So, wala siyang problema dyan po kung he will be removed from the post or suspended for another term, for another 60 days. Wala yan sa kanyang problema. And he was asked, ito na po, and he was asked, what can you say about the impeachment complaint against Inday Sara Duterte? Ano sa palagay ninyo po ang sagot ni Congressman Kiko Berzaga? Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this.
You're suspended, and of course, you're suspended again.
Yes, malulungkot sila, pero mas malulungkot sila kung makita na yung pangalan ko dun sa mga flood control issues or pag makita nila na nakaw from there.
This one is the suspension. Suspension.
There's only two sides. Either you side with corruption or against corruption. There's no middle ground. And I would rather that they be sad when they see me suspended, expelled, or in prison for my stances rather than they see me getting richer off of people's money.
The office of your office, dapat ko, suspended lang po kayo. Legislative staff sa pangyayari sa kanila.
Stay the same from what I see. Bawal lang kasi mga fighting of bills and ethical committee hearings, mga ganun.
Sabihin ko kayo,
Alright, yun po, tungkol sa suspension niya po. So, sana yun po, I'll try to see kung nasaan na yun when he was asked about the impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte. Impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. I don't know kung ito na ba yun po. Sandali.
Sarah, sir.
Vice President Sara Duterte, I don't believe it will be very hard to impeach her as well, because if it was not possible last year where the admin was much stronger, it will not be possible this year. Because the situation now is worse for those planning to impeach her than the situation last year. And right now we also have to secure not just the votes in Congress, but also the votes in the new Senate after the 2025 elections, in which Vice President Sara Duterte has won. The Duterte camp has won multiple seats. Okay, so unless there's a radical shift in the Senate, I don't believe that even if it passed through the House, it would succeed in the Senate.
Alright, yan po ang sagot ni, sabi natin, Congressman Kiko Berzaga. Okay, since we already touched about Inday Sara Duterte po, nandito din po ang, whether we like it or not, grabe ang speculations that Inday Sara Duterte will be the candidate for the presidency in 2028. Now, let's see ang reaction. Reaction po ni Congressman Erice on this issue po. Let's watch and listen to this po.
Kasi yung kasama ko sa civil society, kasama ko sa Dilawan, they are so afraid of a Sara presidency that they will sacrifice the truth. They are so afraid of a Sara presidency that they would want to sacrifice the truth. Kasi yung
Yan po, sabi ni Congressman Erice, they're so afraid of Sara Duterte's candidacy. Ha? Candidacy po. And yun na po, they have to, no, to the extent that they will hide the truth po. So let's see, ano mang mga latest updates from tomorrow onwards na naman po. We are going to continue to monitor ang situation dyan. Shoutout muna tayo kay Mary Lou Pentojo, who is also watching, as well as si June Patunob, who is also watching itong programa natin, Nick Talk Dariato with Nico. And of course, we are celebrating today the first day of Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year, the year of the horse. And to all our Chinese friends, I would like to say Kong Si Fa Chai. Don't forget also, tomorrow is also another very important day para sa mga Kristiyano. Mga Kristiyano po, mga Roman Catholic faithfuls, mga Adventist, mga Baptist believers po. We are going to start ang 40 days Lent period, Lent fasting ng Katoliko po, ng mga Kristiyano po, starting tomorrow for 40 days ito po. So, unang-una, I just want to remind ang mga kababayan natin po, when we talk about Chinese New Year is an annual celebration for 15 days. It is a 15-day festival in China and Chinese community around the world that begins with the new moon occurring sometimes between January 21 and February 20. Ito po ang what we learn. And when we talk about the Chinese New Year, the holiday is sometimes called the Lunar New Year because the dates of the celebration follow the phases of the moon. Since the mid-1990s, people in China have been given 7 consecutive days of working. 7 consecutive days off working during the Chinese New Year. This week of relaxation has been designated Spring Festival, a term that is sometimes used to refer to the Chinese New Year in general. Dito po sa Malaysia, first 1, 2, 3 days po, wala tayong trabaho dito sa Malaysia. Although, ang government will declare a 2 days Chinese New Year holiday. But most of the Chinese establishment po, they even run, they say, now the Chinese New Year is Tuesday, siguro po the whole week walang they will close their establishments po, And but mga malls, yes, still open, but other like law firms, ganito po, they will have the whole week off, forced holiday din po. And remember that the holiday, Chinese New Year festival will last for 15 days, and most likely, if I'm not mistaken, by March 3 po, that will be the last day of Chinese New Year, which they call it as Chap Gome. Chap Gome po. And that's the Chinese New Year. Okay, let's talk about tomorrow also. Ang mga Kristiyano po will be observing ang 40 days fasting period nila po, which we call the Lent. Lent ito po. Lent is a solemn Christian religious observation in the liturgical year in preparation for Easter. It echoes the 40 days Jesus spent fasting in the desert and enduring temptation from the devil or from Satan. So, starting tomorrow po is Ash Wednesday. It is all Christians, mga Roman Catholic po, we are obliged to attend Eucharistic celebration or Mass. Mass po. So, the other celebration or observance that this month we are going to observe po is ang mga kapatid natin po, those who are embracing the Islam faith. like in the Philippines, today they are going, or this afternoon, tapos na siguro, no? They will be sighting the moon. The moment that they will see that, or they will see that there is a moon, ibig sabihin po, ang puasa will start tomorrow. But in Malaysia, I think, kailan? Bukas pa yata, sighting of the moon. I'm not sure, ha? But anyway, most likely, if not tomorrow, the following day, ang start ng puasa, 1 month fasting ng mga kapatid natin embracing Islam. Remember po, Ramadan or ang fasting month nila po, which they call Ramadan, is the 9th and holiest month of Islamic calendar. Commemorating revelation of a Quran to Prophet Muhammad. It signifies a period of significant spiritual reflection, self-discipline, and devotion, during which Muslim must fast from dawn to sunset to cultivate God consciousness, empathy for the needy, and gratitude. Yon po, for 30 days yun po, 1 month yun po, ang fasting month. So while today, ang Chinese community is celebrating ang Chinese New Year, tomorrow, mag-start na po ang fasting period ng mga Kristiyano, and tomorrow maybe, or the following day po, sa Malaysia po, we are going to start also ang Ramadan puasa for our Muslim brothers and sisters. So during this month po, during the celebration of Chinese New Year, we respect ang festival or celebration nila po. But let us not also forget to show respect sa mga Kristiyano when they will start observing ang fasting month, fasting for 40 days or Lent season nila starting tomorrow. And of course, let us do the same thing, show respect, and help them make it solemn sa mga Muslim kapatid natin po, brothers and sisters, who will also be fasting during the month of February until March po. Middle of March siguro yun po. Wherein we are going to celebrate, or they will be celebrating ang Hari Raya Idul Fitri. So ganito po ang latest updates natin dito ngayon po sa Malaysia. Nandito pa rin si Nico Fabian sa Kuala Lumpur doing ang vlogging natin. And next month pa tayo po punta sa Kota Kinabalu. So lahat ng mga kapatid, kababayan, and kaibigan natin dyan po sa Kota Kinabalu, mga Filipinos po, I would like to say Kong Si Matay. And don't forget, ang mga Kristiyano po, don't forget tomorrow, mag-start na tayo ang Ash Wednesday. It means it will be the start of Lenten season. And mga Muslim brothers and sisters natin po, dyan po sa Sabah din, we will help you make this fasting month po a solemn one for this year sa inyong lahat po. So with this, si Nico Fabian would like once again to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Enjoy tayo po ang Chinese New Year celebration, and let's prepare for the Lenten season and Ramadan po asa po. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye, and I love you.